Alright guys, so if you watch the first video, you'll see that we've already made equations. For Jim, the distance that he travels is equal to his speed of 10 feet per second plus a 50-foot head start, while for Alexi, her distance traveled is equal to simply 20 feet per second. So now what we have to do is create coordinate tables. As you can see, I kind of cheated and I already made them down here, and I even labeled one J for Jim, and the other A for Alexi. So now what we need to do is we need to take each one of our x's, or in this case our t's, and replace them with the values in the table. So I'm going to go through just one of them and then I'll plug in the rest just so you can see how the process goes, but I don't want you guys having to sit here for 30 minutes while I do these little equations. If you have questions, of course, ask me in class. All right, so we have the equation of d equals 10t plus 50. Our first x is a 0, so we'll replace t with 0. So d equals 10 times 0 plus 50. If we simplify, this goes away because it's 10 times 0 is 0. We have d equals 50, and that's our y value. So we'll plug that in real quick. And then, like I said, I'm going to kind of pre-fill these. So 10 times 5 is 50 plus 50, that's 100. And then 10 times 7 is 70 plus 50 is 120. And then over for Alexa, 20 times 0, anything times 0 is 0. 20 times 5 is 100. And 7 times 20 is 140. All right, good. So now we have our coordinates set up, and now we would set up our actual grid. In this case, since it's distance time, you can't go backwards in time and you can't go in negative distance once you start a race. So the good news is all we need is our first quadrant. As you can see, I've set up a y and an x-axis, and I've also labeled our axes and given the graph a title. And for scale, you can see that I have 20 feet for every box, and I have 1 second for every box. So now all we have to do is plot our points. Now hopefully this is going to go better than the other times I've tried, but you never know. So we are going to go with our pen, make it nice and thick, and Jim is in black, so we'll plot him first. So now we plot our points. So at 0, 50 feet. That went well. Then we go with 5 seconds, 100 feet. So 500. And then last, we go 7 seconds, 120 feet. And I messed up a little bit, but it's close. Now we'll switch colors. Make sure you always set up different colors if you have to graph more than one item. And we're going to go with, I think that's supposed to be red. So 0, 0 for Alexi. Then 5 seconds, 100. And then 7 seconds, 140, which we can't even actually see here, but it'll be about right here. And now all we have to do is connect our points. Just like that. And then we will switch to black for Jim. You can see Jim. Oh boy. We'll go with an actual. There we go. Now, you can either look at our table or our graph, and you'll see that our two runners meet and Alexi overtakes Jim at the point of 5 seconds or 100 feet. So 5 seconds after the race starts, or 100 feet after the runners have traveled, they will end up meeting each other and Alexi will overtake Jim. And that would help us solve pretty much any problem. You can see right on the graph it does it for us visually, or the table gives it to us too before we even have to graph. So that's what this whole section is going to be about. We're going to do a bunch of different examples, and you guys are going to do an awesome job. All right, I will see you in class. Good luck.